Hey gang, Spider Paul. This past weekend was Free Comic Book Day, and this year it was a little different than normal. Instead of just being a customer, went to go help out a buddy uh, get his shop through their very first Free Comic Book Day. And it was interesting and a lot of fun to be on that side of kind of the counter. Got to meet a lot of cool people, got to give stuff out to kids, and had a couple pretty cool things happen. So I don't know how many of you know which books came out. I grabbed a bunch of books that I picked up for my haul. Got pretty much most of what I wanted. Missed a big one. Missed the Something is Killing the Children, not Enter the House of Slaughter, but I'm hoping that I can track that one down. Got a couple of video game comic books. Zelda and Assassin's Creed. My son was big into the Assassin's Creed video game. And for those of you old enough to remember, I am the law, which is, sorry for my bad Sly Stallone impersonation. Got Judge Dredd, Zorro, a horror book called Vampire, because I love me some vampires. This one I might read or give to my granddaughter. It's called Donut the Destroyer, and that may be something she will dig. And then Dark Ark Instinct. The next one, The Lady Mechanica. Kind of a steampunk thing. I want to say this came out a while ago. It sounds familiar to me. Then, if you're watching Amazon Prime, The Boys, they had one called Herogasm. And if it's anywhere near as demented as the show is, this should be an interesting read. This one I was pretty interested in. I've heard some good things about, I think, Resistance and Moth. So I'm going to check that one out. And then I got some titles that I normally read that had free comic book day versions. Spider-Man and Venom with some character changes in this one. I won't give spoilers, but they are not, well, if you're following Venom, you know who the new Venom is. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with Spider-Man and everything that's going on. And then, as much as I hate to admit it, I have been reading Red Room. I like Ed Piskor's art, but sitting behind the counter on this, I had to make sure no young kids got a hold of that, and when people picked it up, they kind of knew what they were getting into because it's pretty gruesome. Now, also got the Free Comic Book Day Batman to go with my collection. Avengers, because it's got some Hulk goodness in it, and you know I love me some Hulk. Looking forward to seeing what Al Ewing does with the story when he takes it over from Donny Cates coming up soon. And again with the vampires, some Vampirella goodness. And I've been reading Star Wars, which I haven't usually been doing. I've been reading the IDW High Republic and the Disney High Republic Adventures and enjoying both of them. So they had a Star Wars High Republic book that I picked up, and a couple of things they did at the shop I was at involved some new artists. So picked up this book, Raise, that is done by two guys out of Worcester, Massachusetts, which is a couple hours, 2.5 hours maybe south of where I am. And they were giving the book away and telling people to talk it up and spread the word. They're trying to get known. So if you see Raise, grab a copy of it or look it up on the internet. And they're giving away downloads. Now, I mentioned one of the books I was looking for that I didn't get was Enter the House of Slaughter. But one that I did get is the Stray Dogs Free Comic Book Day book, which I think is already selling for some decent money. It's a great story, and I can't wait for the Dog Days follow-up series to come out on that one. If you're not reading Stray Dogs, you haven't heard it. Grab a trade, borrow it from friends, but check it out. Now, here's the exciting stuff. At the store, along with the guys from Worcester, my buddy Jason had Steve Levine from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fame. He and his wife were there. They're both very, very nice. Steve was very cool to talk to. And they had some merch for sale. So at first I thought this was a comic book. It's actually a metal plate, trying to get the glare to come off of that a little bit. It's really cool if you can see it in person. And he signed and did the remark at the bottom there, which was awesome. And it's got a certificate of authenticity in the back. So this one was number 153 of 200. There's only 200 of those being done. So I grabbed one of them. The other thing that I grabbed, I don't have a lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja books. Have a few more modern ones and some of the crossover stuff with Batman. But Steve had a copy of issue number 5, the second print, and again he signed it and did the little remark drawing on the bottom. Now, I follow Comic Tom on the internet to see the right way to do this, I guess, if you would invest more time and money than I do. And this one just came up on a video I watched today. This book, back in June, I guess was like a $700 book for this second print in high grade, and this one is pretty clean. There's a little bit of a bindery scuff down in that corner, but other than that, the rest of the corners are all sharp, no creases, no tears. It's pretty high grade. And an unsigned copy of this just sold for $1,500. And I have a signed copy with a remark that I paid $50 for. So thanks Steve, thanks Jason. I almost came up out of my scooter chair when I saw that this morning. Bought something because I thought it was cool, and it ended up being a good investment. So that was my free comic book day. I hope you guys all had a good weekend, a good time, got to pick up what you want. This coming weekend, the Little Giant show is coming up in Concord, New Hampshire, so I'm probably going to go to that, go digging through some long boxes, and probably run into the pressable defects and see how well they survive Terrificon. Take care, guys.